I am so sick and tired of this chip that you're carrying on your shoulder. We have bent over backwards. We have done backflips to make you feel equal. And yet, we've done everything. Perfect example is in the federal government. If you and I get the exact same rating for a position, do you know what? You get it. And do you know why? Because you're black. Is that fair? Is that fair to me?
There is a woeful lack of understanding, not only in the black community, but really in the white community, of why black people are in the condition that we're in and why all of the efforts that whites have made and government has made to try to solve the problem in the way that government sees fit has not really worked. And blacks are still crying out for more and more and more. And I realize that this is an irritant to white people because you really don't understand. And it's not really your fault. It's not really your fault. You just don't understand. But I think if you gave yourself a chance to hear what happened to these black people that makes them as they are as an irritant to you and those who think you have done the best you could. And maybe you have, but I respectfully suggest to you that there's so much more that could be done, that should be done, and that must be done if America is to survive. Believe me.
So this lady asks, this black lady, are white women really that scared of black women? And I'm going to say yes. And this is my opinion as a white woman who is 53 years old and has lived in the South in Georgia in my entire life. But it's not being scared, but it's a fear. And it's not a physical fear. It is the mental fear. It is what we see in you and what we see you doing and how it challenges us and the fear of that. So we see black women and we see how strong you are. We see you coming together as a community. We see you supporting each other. We see you supporting your community, supporting your families, supporting your children, going out and fighting for your rights, being authentic in your race and in your femininity. Anyway. And we're jealous. I think we're jealous because we would love to be that, I think, and we don't know how to break out of the indoctrination that we have been suppressed by our entire lives. And I'm not giving white women a pass, don't get me wrong, but I know I, and most women have been told, white women have been told our entire lives, be quiet, know your place, be a good girl, don't rock the boat, don't be too much. And when you are any of those things, you are ostracized because you have rocked their boat. And that is what black women are. You rock our boat, our mental boat, because you challenge us to look at how we are deficient and not living in our truth, and it makes us uncomfortable. And people don't like to be uncomfortable. And it makes us start to question ourselves. And people don't like to question themselves. We would rather live in our little bubble of white supremacy and what we know and comfortableness. I know that's not a word. Than a lot of people would, white women would, rather than challenge themselves to grow and know more. Because it's easy. Doing the work is hard. It's really hard. I've been doing the work the past several years, and it's hard. It is hard admitting some truths about yourself and some truths about yourself as a white woman. So yeah, I think that white women are scared of black women because you challenge us in that way, and a lot of us don't like it. And that's why we fear you. It's because we fear what you make us face.
Black people are the first people. Black people are the mothers and fathers of everybody on this planet. The first people to know about God. The first people to be mathematicians, architects, scientists, philosophers, to know about astronomy, when the people who classify themselves as white started taking over, they knew of the critical importance in the area of religion of telling people, the whole world of colored people, that God was white.
All right, racists, let's talk about your undeniable fetish for Black American humor and the history you pretend to not know. Racist America loves the laughter of the original people. The way Black Indigenous people laugh at their pain and the magic behind it, totally ignoring the power structure that keeps manufacturing the pain. A power structure with an extractive economy geared towards causing the pain, extracting the innovation created from the pain, then taking credit for the results of the creations. While racists have survived with ripe appetites that have supply chains, legendary things were happening amongst the Black Americans. A living technology, a built-in healing device, and social medicine, refined across pulpits and stoops, juke joints, union halls, barbershops, beauty salons, and nightclubs. They call it comedy. The pains of the original people and their descendants built American comedy, and not as a decorative accent, but as the spine. In the church call and response where the preacher wasn't separate from the congregation. The word only came alive if the crowd spoke back. Signifying and the dozens, a rhetorical science of misdirection, layering, and double-voiced irony, traced and theorized by scholars like Henry Louis Gates Jr., became the blueprint for everything from insult comedy to battle rap to late-night monologues and sideways truth-telling. The Chitlin Circuit, 1930s to 1960s, a parallel economy of theaters and clubs, like the Apollo in Harlem, the Regal in Chicago, the HBCU Howard University in D.C., and the Club de Lisa in Chicago, where Black comics built raw acts free from the policing that haunted mainstream television. The comedic material that was crafted at these places later arrived and sanitized by network television. Burt Williams and George Walker, from the 1890s to the 1910s. Williams, the creator of Nobody, in 1905 innovated the deadpan timing and character-based satire. The white critics praised how universal it was, while Black audiences heard the encryption, the pain being translated as composure and micro-rebellion. Moms Mabley, from the 1920s to the 1970s, a master of persona and subtext. She would smuggle taboo political critique in grandmotherly attire, using softness as armor to deliver hard truths from the Apollo to nationwide TV. Red Fox, the innovator behind independent LPs sold under the counter. His tapes carried a whole adult vernacular, a delivery system for pacing, blue material, and working-class wit that mainstream venues later looted for style. Dick Gregory, one of my faves. He used stand-up as frontline analysis. Gregory fused joke architecture with news commentary and movement strategy, forcing television to confront reality, not caricature. Richard Pryor, The Modern Confessional. Pryor's persona, raw nerve, shape-shifting voices, social autopsy, reset American stand-up's emotional range. His 1970s run, including the 1974 Grammy-winning album with the infamous title, taught the industry that vulnerability plus surgical truth is not a niche. It's the standard. Flip Wilson, the first Black comic to host a ratings-dominant variety show, proving that Black comedic range wasn't too specific for primetime, only too honest for some gatekeepers. In Living Color and Def Comedy Jam, sketch and stand-up revolutions that weaponized dance, music video grammar, and street-level timing. They launched the careers from Jamie Foxx to Martin Lawrence, the Wayans brothers and sister, Jim Carrey, and even Jennifer Lopez. Contemporary Continuum, from Wanda Sykes' policy-sharp stand-up to Issa Rae's web to HBO pipeline, from Key and Peele's code switch satire to Quinta Brunson's workplace warmth, from Black Twitter's mimetic storm cells to podcasters refining long-form bits. The laboratory never closed. All of this creation from love that was never meant to be a spectacle. Inside their community, humor is a domestic policy. Aunties weaponize wit to keep teens sharp. Cousins roasting as an initiation into belonging. And sometimes just to say I love you. Comics turning repass halls and funerals into grief clinics where the room exhales together. So to bring it all home, racist America didn't discover Black humor. It was built with it, then pretends otherwise. The industry learned pacing from the pulpit, structure from the street corners, persona from the trickster, and catharsis from rooms that weren't allowed to be the same color as the comedian. If you're going to obsess, obsess responsibly. Credit the inventors. Name the sources. Stop extracting the aesthetic and then policing the analysis. Understand that the laugh you covet is not your souvenir. It's a community survival tech and love language at work. Black humor is not America's coping playlist. It is America's comedic operating system, written by people who refuse to let the wound be the only story, and who, with unlicensed brilliance, taught an entire planet how to laugh.
You know, why some white women rage and get pissed and just speak out and keep saying, why do these black people need a special treatment? We've tried our possible best to make them feel at home. We've tried our possible best to make them comfortable. We've tried our possible best to make them see that this is also their place. Some white people are also doing their possible best to make a lot of attention known. And that's so beautiful to acknowledge. You can see for the first clip that I played why she was saying, why do they still do this? Why do they do this? But after the explanation, she was really, really calm. See, a lot of people will not know exactly what it feels until they are in your shoe. If you're not in someone's shoe, you will not understand. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. If this is the first time you're tuning in, do what, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the white and black rage. And let's go ahead and roll out the other clips that we have. And I will be back with commentaries. As you're watching, please do what to drop me your comments. I stand a chance to be corrected. This video is just for educational purpose. And every stitches and clips you see in today's episode, credit belongs to the original creators of this video, okay? We do not support violence. We do not support fight. Let's just get right and get some of our education stuff, right? And I'll be back with commentaries.
As white people, is our deepest fear that we are inadequate? Or is our deepest fear that black excellence is powerful beyond measure? It is their light, not their darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who are they to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are they not to be? Look honestly, and you will see how they demonstrate love as a reflection of our unwarranted hate. Our playing God does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about positioning ourselves and controlling the narrative so that black and brown folks feel insecure around us. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of the Spirit that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in all of us, no matter what your skin tone is. And as we let our own light shine, by atoning for and repairing the harm of our ways, as we learn to serve and see the true greatness of Aboriginal and Indigenous cultures and human beings around us, we unconsciously give white people around the planet the permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. From this point, we can build a new world that is connected to the planet and each other. Together, humanity is achievable.
Every white person in this room who would be happy to be treated as this society in general treats our citizens, our black citizens, if you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others. Now, getting right along, your hand is still up. You still didn't learn anything, did you? Didn't I just say when your hand is up, you are thinking of what you're going to say instead of what's being said? Didn't I just say that?
Yes, you did.
And did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
And did you decide that you were just going to do it your way?
I was
Wait a minute,
listening
you
to
were on a
him.
roll
Yes,
there for
I
a minute.
did.
Yeah, thank you very
Yes,
much.
I
Now-
did.
Now, since you choose to not listen to others, what do you suppose we're going to do where you're concerned?
No, listen to me.
Thank you very much.
May I
Now,
finish what I was saying,
no,
please?
because you're still thinking of what you're going to say instead of what I'm saying. Now, getting right along.
I heard what you
Well,
were saying.
you're doing
I
it again.
understand what you were
You're
saying.
doing it again.
I don't care.
You're doing it
because
again.
It's wrong.
You're
And you
doing it again.
Persecuted her for standing
You're
out.
doing it again.
Persecuted him for standing out. The only change that ever happens is when people stand out, and I have to stand back.
Martin Luther King Jr. was shot. Are you in any physical danger here? Are you in any physical danger here? Is that girl in any physical danger here? Emmett Till was hanged by his neck after he was beaten almost to death, simply because he made a statement to a white woman.
If you are a white woman and you are dating, in love with, married to a black man, I want you to listen up. There are certain things that you need to know. And I don't think this is spoke about enough. But the most dangerous thing in this world are the tears of a white woman. And if you truly love the black man that you are with, you need to know that you need to have his back and protect him at all costs, including protecting him from yourself. And what do I mean by that? My son was dating a white woman. My son is biracial. They got into an argument in public, and she started to scream and cry. And my son immediately left the scene. She was outraged. She couldn't believe my son left. My son left because my son knew that if he stayed there and this woman was crying and screaming at him, a black man, there was not going to be any questions asked. He was going to be thrown to the ground. He was going to go to jail. It was not going to be any questions asked because this white woman was crying and screaming about him. Now, I'm sure this female may have been hurt. Her feelings was hurt. She was a little emotional. However, when you are dating a black man and you're a white woman, you need to understand that sometimes your fucking feelings and your emotions have to take a fucking back seat to not cause harm to the person you are dating, that you love, that you are married to. And I'm not telling you that if you are truly in fucking danger, not to get help. But if you're just emotional, you're just pissed off, and you want to scream and hoop and holler, in public is not the time. Because that can turn out very deadly for the black man that you claim to love so much, whether you realize it or not. If you were just dating a white man and you were yelling, nobody would really pay any attention to that shit. But when people see a white woman and a black man and you're screaming, all hell will break loose. Because when white women cry, everybody responds. Even if the shit is stupid, even if it's frivolous, even if it's a lie. The most deadliest thing in this world are white women tears. I have said this time and time again. And I learned this very, very early in life. I grew up in the projects. I was raised by two wonderful black women that helped my mother raise me. So I know what I have witnessed, what I have experienced, and I know for a fact of what I speak. I learned very early in life that I could be a voice for my friends and my family because people would listen to me far more than they would listen to them. And if you listen to anything I have ever said to you on this app, If you are a white woman and you are dating a black man, you are in love with a black man, you are married to a black man, you need to know that you need to have his back and protect him at all costs, even if it is protecting him from you. Handle that shit at home if you are not in danger.
That's why I say some white people really have a deep understanding. Some white people have deep understanding. And until a lot of white people start having this deep understanding, they will still not be able to understand why black people still need to be treated specially, especially black American people. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let me roll out the remaining clips I have for you guys. And I'll be back with commentaries. Credit belongs to original creators of this video. Let's go, guys.
It's intoxicating being the black person that white people approve of. And I know this because that's how I grew up. Being the black person that white people approved of and being deathly afraid of losing that approval. White people, after all, have the most power in the U.S. They have most of the money and most of the influence. By and large, black people have been at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder since we were brought here in chains. That inferiority thing can hit you hard if you don't have a strong support system around you to remind you of your inherent value and beauty and worth, and if you're not taught the truth about our history and the impact of the unjust systems that create inequality. You can start to believe the lie that there's something inherently wrong with you, with your people. That's why black folks are fully capable of perpetuating anti-blackness. It starts with believing the lie taught to us by white supremacy, that we are by nature brutish and savage and deeply in need of civilizing. And that's what whiteness offers, the promise of that much-needed civilizing force, at which point, ostensibly, we'll become acceptable to them and will finally be welcomed into polite society with open arms. This oftentimes is at the root of black conservatism, and I'll admit it can be deeply angering to witness, although I was raised around a lot of black conservatives. Black conservatives can be just as vicious, if not more vicious, than white racists, because they can get away with saying things about black people that closeted white racists can't. People like Clarence Thomas, Candace Owens, Thomas Sowell, Tim Scott, and Kanye have made a name for themselves in toxic conservative circles by telling a particular group of white folks exactly what they want to hear. That systemic racism is a myth, that black people whose free labor fueled the economy for hundreds of years are essentially lazy and just want handouts, and that we need a return to the good old days where black people didn't complain so much. And this strategy, by and large, has worked for them. They get to experience the intoxication of white approval while being treated to yacht trips by well-connected billionaires and earning copious amounts of money by parroting white supremacist talking points. I mean, what's the downside? A certain segment of white America will always need black mouthpieces to say what they would sound racist for saying. It's lifelong job security. There have always been black conservatives, to be sure, but this new breed seems to exist solely for the purpose of downplaying the effects of racism on behalf of their conservative overlords. It's a dirty business whose primary purpose is to create a counter-narrative to a growing racial awareness and to provide cut-and-paste talking points to internet trolls, or maybe just your totally not racist uncle. Black folks peddling white supremacy to win white approval will always be big business, as long as those in power have something to gain from it. That's why it's important to remember that just because a black person said it doesn't mean it's not anti-black. Stay woke.
All right, colonizer, let's talk about your weaponization of the future. Before I jump onto these settlers' necks, I want to preface this subject with a little bit of a personal opinion. Everything that you are being shown in the media right now is geared towards fearing the future. Please take the time to control what you ingest when you should just observe. Fearing what's to come is a weapon and a tool, and if they get everybody in the perfect state of fear, they will control every aspect of our lives. Settlers are afraid of their future. So to keep you from truly flipping over the furniture, the parasites pull events and headlines to make black Americans fear for their prosperous futures. You ever notice how settlers try to scare black Americans with images of decline or of poverty or unemployment and chaos, when deep down they know that the real collapse belongs to them? Because let's be honest, whiteness doesn't really have a future at this current state. It only had a past stolen from others, and it built its tomorrow by delusion. They are truly under the impression that if they keep telling themselves how great they are, then it must be true, when it's quite the opposite. So when they tell you how the black unemployment rate is such a devastation, or that they need to send the National Guard to certain areas because of crime, remember that they can see demographic shifts. They can see black Americans advancing beyond a standard that is even close to equal. So the simple truth is that they can't hide their mediocrity anymore. Their myths are unraveling. They know that their grandchildren won't inherit supremacy or a trust fund. They lost.
Dear black girls, the time has come. I have something on my chest, but I cannot hold it anymore. So I'm just gonna say it. I invite you. It's been years. I invite your genes. I can't believe most of you don't even get old. You guys don't age, or what's the problem in here? I don't see the majority of you fine lines under your eyes. What do you mean you're 35 and you look like 23? God has his favorites and I saw it. What about the lips? What about those juicy lips, those nice lips, those lips that looks plump and is natural in the same time? What about the buttock? What about the fat, juicy buttock? You think that's fair? Do you think that's normal? What about that nice skin that when you apply a little bit of foundation, a little bit of makeup, you just get a glow? Yep, yep, yep. I have all the reasons to invite you. You see this lip combo over here? Yep, that's because of you. Because before you, I even hated gloss. I just couldn't see myself wearing gloss. Now this is my lip combo every day almost. And if you ever saw me with braids or any African hairstyle, it's because I loved it on you guys. And it's not because I wanted to be black, it's because I actually wanted to slay in it as well. Why is it just you that you want to slay in it when I can slay in it as well? Overall, I think your genes are crazy good, and I invite you for that, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, but in a good way, you know. I wish I had all these things because there's a lot of things you guys have and I don't, and I spend money on it because I don't, right? Just in case you have any insecurity, I want you to know you're beautiful. And I find myself turning my head after you on the street. So hope this message got to you, and I hope you're gonna enjoy your day and remember you're beautiful.
This is not the first time that I explain why I love black women, but I'll be more than happy to explain. So here are the reasons why that I love black women. So the first reason is because every race and every color is beautiful. However, to me, in my honest opinion, I really think that black women are seriously one of the most beautiful, gorgeous, stunning human beings that I've ever come across in my life. Like, looks don't mean everything, but like, just black women have so much beauty. Like, I really just cannot help it, especially like their skin colors. Like, they have such very beautiful skin. And especially the ones who have a dark skin complexion. Like, the dark skinned black women, I mean. But the problem is that a lot of dark skinned black women receive more hate. Like, they get called girls that are too dark, something like that. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't see any black woman out there that's too dark or too light. Like, she's just a black woman who is full of beauty, period. And I'm going to be honest, I'm more into dark-skinned black women, but I don't care how light, how dark she is. I just want someone who is rightful for me. And the second reason is that black women are very loving people. And the third reason is that black women really do not tolerate any kinds of negativity or any kinds of bullshit. Excuse my French, but I'm the same way. As much as I don't tolerate those things, neither do black women. And the other reason is this. Black women stand up for other people that they know and love and care about. Which basically means that they're emotionally strong people. And I'm the same way as well, because no matter what, if I see anybody out there who's, you know, something negative happen toward them, I'm going to stand up for them because I care about them and I love them with all my heart, something like that. Whether they're my friends, whether they're my family, or the person I'm in a relationship with, etc. Black women stand up for people that they know and love and care about. So those are the reasons why I love black women.
I am half black. My biological father is African American. I'm gonna break it down for you because I know what you're thinking. This girl is insane. There's no way. She has green eyes, very light skin, and blonde hair. Like, there's no way. Growing up as a kid, I always got, "That's your stepdad, you must be adopted." This video is honestly for educational purposes, to just let you know, like, people can look like me and be mixed. So let me break it down and show you my parents. Alrighty, here is me and my dad. This is my dad. His name is Lance. Here's another photo. It's kind of blurry, but yes, he raised me my entire life from when I came out the womb. Here is another photo of us when I was younger. And this is my mom, so I definitely took after like her skin tone, her hair. I'm looking like a weird ass little baby in this pic, but this is my mom again. Here is her when she was in her teenage years. So yeah, those are my parents. My dad actually had a paternity test after I was born. Not because he thought my mom was cheating, but just to make sure, because I did come out looking super fair, which is absolutely hilarious, honestly. One day somebody asked him, they were like, how does your baby have blonde hair? That is not your kid. And my dad just made a joke. He was like, oh, yeah, I used to have blonde hair when I was a kid too. Like, serves you right for asking a dumb question. I will say that when people see my dad and me next to each other, we do have a lot of similarities in our face. We have the same eyes, not eye color, but there's a photo of us. I can't find it, but there's a photo of us where our eyes are literally the exact same when we smile. Like the shape of them, one of our eyes gets smaller and one's bigger. And then I'm also very lean and tall and thin, and that is his exact body type and build as well. I did not get like my body type from my mom at all. So yeah, I just wanted to share this because it's just been something growing up that people just always thought I was lying, and I'm like, why would I lie about that? Like, that's just weird, you know?
I think white people are so triggered by black joy because they have zero control over it. And white people are all about control. And anything they don't get to control and manage and dictate freaks them the hell out.
They don't get to be the leader.
Black people have never been treated equally because of racism was built into the foundation of many society. And those structures have been slow and often resistant to change. American history also include all of that globally. That's a deep and important question. Black people, especially in America, but also across the world, have historically not been treated equally because of systematic racism, which have rooted in slavery, colonization, and white supremacy. Slavery and dehumanization. For hundreds of years, Black Americans were enslaved and treated as property. This created the false belief that blacks' life were less valued, a mindset that carries on even after slavery ends. But did slavery really end? That's the question. Because the modern day slavery, I think, is even worse than those slaveries that we've read about. Institutional racism. Systems like education, housing, healthcare, and the legal system were designed in a way that disadvantaged Black people. Segregation of laws, redlining, unfair policy, voters, oppression. Name it. Economic exploitation. Black labor was used to build wealth for others, while Black communities were denying the same opportunity for land ownerships, business growth, and generational wealth. Cultural erasure and stereotyping. Black culture was often stolen, mocked, or suppressed, while negative stereotypes were pushed in media to justify discrimination. Are we not still seeing it today? We are. Fear of equality. Many in power fear that if Black people were given equal opportunities, it will change existing privilege and control, so they create law and system to maintain inequality. We've seen it in different places. We've seen it in office. We've seen it in it's just a lot for Black people, especially Black American people. Ongoing discrimination. Even today, disparities exist in wages, job opportunities, healthcare, and the justice system. Racism may look different, than in the past, but it is still deeply embedded in the society. As it's called, Black people have never been treated equally because racism was built into the foundation of many societies, and those structures have been slow and often resistant to change. So when you as a white woman is always thinking that you and the Black people are treated equally, or you've given them room for you to be able to express and make them feel that you guys are equal, just know that you will not understand until you fit into their shoes. Black Americans have gone through a lot, and the earlier a lot of people start realizing it to give them what belongs to them, I think the better for all of us. If you're watching as a white person and you're always standing up and advocating for Black Americans, we love you and we can't love you less. And if you're still watching as a white person and you still have that instinct of racism inside of you, I think it is time for you to change, because honestly, these people have gone through a lot. The only thing we should always be advocating for right now is how Black Americans can actually get reparation. And if until that reparation is being carried out in a fair manner, Black people will still have that stereotype of what they have been through. And of which do you think that they should not still have that? It is not possible. I keep saying it, you can beat me and tell me not to cry. You can flog me and ask me to keep quiet. I will cry, I will scream, I will shout. And if that's what it takes for Black people to actually get what they want, I think we're gonna go by that. Anyways, what do you think in this video? Let me know your opinion. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Every videos and clips used in today's episode, credit belongs to the original creators of this video. And yes, with no further ado, I do locally say in my videos, I'm going to be simple, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you so much for watching to this point, and this video is for educational purpose. I stand a chance to be corrected. Okay, bye for now. I love you guys. Mwah.